And now we get to the final five. The five worst pieces of garbage I saw in 2013. And believe me, these are some doozies. If there's some that are not on this list, then do your own list. But I really need to show you this because it's horrible. Let me just say it right now. Number five, Bullet to the Head. The most disappointing movie of the year when it comes to Sly Stallone. I mean, I didn't see Escape Plan, and for a good reason, because this was just a piece of garbage. Him and Sun Kane had no chemistry, too much shaky cam in the action scenes. Jason Momoa doesn't do much as the villain. I mean, he could have been intimidating against Sly, but there's nothing between them. Just a lackluster story. I didn't care for Sarah Sahai or Shahai, whatever her name is, as Stallone's daughter. I didn't buy her as his daughter. I really thought the film was boring. I've seen better films with Stallone, the first Expendables, and the Rocky films, and the Rambo films. This is one of his worst, I gotta say. Walter Hill, I don't know what the hell you were thinking. You should have gotten a better screenwriter. If Thomas Jane was in this movie and the script was worked on a little bit better, the film would have been a lot better. It would have been at least decent. It would have been in my honorable mentions, but it's not, because it sucks. I think this is one of the worst films, action films of the year, without a doubt. I'm glad it flopped. It deserved to. It's not a good movie. Sun Kane, just stick to other films. Don't do any more films with Stallone. You have no chemistry with him. You and your stupid cell phone. Oh, I need some info. I need some info. I need some info. Why? Why have a character like that? That's not badass. It's just stupid. Just a very forgettable film. I'm really disappointed that Sly put out this film this year. I know he didn't direct it, but he could have said no to this and done a better film. So, sorry Sly, but this one was a stinker. Now, number four. The most unfunniest romantic comedy I have seen in a very, very long time. This film is worse than any romantic comedy I saw last year. This was not romantic. It was not funny. It was stupid. It was way too predictable. A waste of a lot of a lot of talent, and that is The Big Wedding. My God, this movie sucked. It's a waste of time. Robert De Niro's in the film. It has an all-star cast: Robert De Niro, Katherine Heigl, Amanda Seyfried, Diane Keaton, Susan Sarandon, a bunch of other people. It could have been promising if the script was better. This movie was so bad. It's a lot of gross out humor. Some gross out humor, a lot of sexual jokes that went nowhere, unnecessary nudity just thrown in there just so it can get its R rating. The Spanish lady and her daughter did nothing for me. They annoyed the crap out of me in this film. Just some things come out of nowhere, like Christine Ebersol throwing herself at a woman. I mean, that's not even built up at all. It's just like, oh, we need something random. Let's just throw in that she's a bisexual. Really? Really? No, I don't ever want to see this movie again. It was painful to watch. I didn't laugh once. Ben Barnes is one of the worst actors in this film. Topher Grace was trying, but he didn't have much to do. Ben Barnes, he was trying to speak Spanish, and he's a British guy trying to fake an American accent. No, take that, Ben Barnes. I didn't care for you as Prince Caspian anyway. That's why I didn't see the second Narnia. This movie, what a waste of talent, man. Robert De Niro and all these other people have done better. This film, I didn't feel any romance. There's only one decent scene, and that's with Katherine Heigl and I think Robert De Niro. They have like a small chat, and it's okay, but it's not enough to save this movie. I hate this film. It's the worst romantic comedy I've seen all year. I know there's other bad comedies that came out this year, but this one was one of the worst that I had to sit through. So, Big Wedding. I don't want to see it again. Okay, now we're getting to the top three. The three worst pieces of shit ever. And that number three is Texas Chainsaw 3D. It was an unnecessary sequel. We did not need this. There was already a Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 in the 80s. We didn't need this at all. It was a very lackluster film that just was made for the 3D gimmick so it could make money off of the original. Very lackluster cast. I mean, good looking girls, I'm going to say that, but the lead girl, when she does at the end, it just makes no sense at all. The gore, there's like one good gory scene, and that's like in the middle of the film. No one's likable in the film. The film is very, very just, boring. I mean, just the stupidity in the film runs all over on many levels. The fact that they can't tell time, that they don't know that 20 years and 40 years are not the same thing. The girl's supposed to be in her 20s, and the film should be take place in the 90s, and it's 2012, and yet what is she, 40? Doesn't make any sense. The fact that she doesn't read the letter that she gets in the film before she gets to the house, and the fact that they do stupid things like trying to break a gate with a van, that doesn't work. And they rip off the first film a lot, like the dead rodent and the dead armadillo in the road, picking up a hitchhiker, that's from the original. The girl in the fridge, that's from the original. The original's better. Even 2, 3, and the remake are better than this movie. I didn't want to see this movie in the theater, but hey, it was January. There was nothing good out. I saw it after The Last Stand, and it hurt. It's one of the worst things I've ever seen, man. I think Next Generation's probably worse because it's much more low budget and it's terrible, and you have Leatherface as a drag queen, which was stupid, but this was really painful to watch too. I hope you guys didn't watch this tripe. It's just one of the worst films ever made. One of the most unnecessary sequels ever made. Just see Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. It's better than this crap. Okay, number 2. Another unfunny comedy. Rambo Ref said this is one of the worst things he's seen, and believe me, I feel for him. I feel sympathy for him because I sat through this too. Scary Movie 5. God, this movie was freaking terrible. I mean, I haven't seen part 3 and 4, but they're going to be better than this, even if they do suck. At least Anna Faris is in those. I'm glad she didn't do this film. It was horrible. Ashley Tisdale, likable actress that I like in other films, like the High School Musical films. She has nothing to do here. Simon Rex is just a punching bag throughout the whole film. There's a lot of gross humor that just made me sick to my stomach. There are no jokes in this movie. It's just references to other films, like, oh, there's Evil Dead. Oh, there's Cabin in the Woods. Oh, there's Inception. Oh, there's Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Oh, there's Black Swan. Oh, there's I don't know. There's just a lot of stuff that they just reference. Lindsay Lohan looks terrible in this film. Charlie Sheen, he's freaking mental in this film. There's nothing funny in the movie. Just a complete waste of money. I don't know why this movie made money. It's very stupid. It was not needed. I'd rather see the first 2 films. At least they're entertaining. This is not entertaining. This is painful. It's short. It's one of the only good things I could say about the film. The kids in the film, they could have done better. The writing could have been a lot better. And, what can I say that hasn't been said about this piece of garbage? It deserves the backlash that it got. It was not needed. It's the worst scary movie of the 5. I need to see 3 and 4 just to get rid of this movies from my brain. Because even if 3 and 4 are not good, I'm not going to suffer as much watching them compared to this. So Scary Movie 5, take this. You sucked. I hated you. I never want to see you again. And this is my number 1. The worst, most boring freaking movie that I sat through watching on my computer. I didn't even pay for this movie because it was boring. It was too freaking long. And it's The Host. Stephanie Meyer, you can go screw yourself. I don't know why you wrote the book to this movie, and I don't know why it was made into a film. It was boring as hell. It was just Twilight in the sci-fi universe. The girl from I don't know how to say her name. Soin Ronan or whatever her name is. The girl from The Host. She does like this internal monologue that just bores me to tears. She plays 2 roles in the film. I didn't care for her in this movie. She's from Hannah. Just very boring. There's an action sequence at the very end of the film, and it's like a minute long, and it comes out of nowhere. There's no build up for it at all. This movie made me suffer painful pain, a lot of pain. I'm at a loss for words because of how boring it was. Some other people would put other movies like Movie 43. I didn't want to suffer through that. That's why it's not on my list. But The Host was a bore fest. It insults the sci-fi genre. I think that there are better films that came out this year. The Love Triangle didn't work for me. Visually, it has some appealing stuff in it, but the actors did nothing for me. The movie was boring. The plot just ran thin. It's too freaking long. It feels like 2 hours. And it's just, it's got that Twilight touch. So Stephanie Myers, once again, go screw yourself. You didn't need to bring this onto the world. We already had enough Twilight wannabes this year, like Warm Bodies and Beautiful Creatures. This is another one, another train wreck. I will never watch this movie again. I'd rather watch a bad sci-fi movie from the 50s than to watch this turd again. So there we have it. The 15 biggest pieces of garbage I saw in 2013. I hope 2014 is a lot better. I'm not watching 15 bad movies again from next year. These films, I'm tired of talking about them. I hope they burn in hell. I hope they never get sequels because I really don't want to see any more of this pain. I can see better films. We all deserve better, and you can take that to the bank later.